See, doing? Oh yes, I've had to some miracles to came trying to do the really big venti thing. Trying to say that came this one, they conquered. I've always known that came this one, they ripped my arm. I got rescued by a whole heap of a whole lot of times when they were here. And then they took me, I guess, Manor Transnet, beam me up Scotty's Ice, if you know old time Star Trek movies or TV series, yeah. In the blink of an eye. By the time I got back, it said on YouTube, which was when I looked, when I left, it said it was on, it said it'd be on in a minute. By the time I finished speaking to you all, yes, the counter on YouTube said it was 3 minutes, yes, and then they took me, and then it was 55 minutes, right. So, anyway, and I took note of it. YouTube took note of it. I went back to miracles to after they took me, right. So anyway, yeah. So okay. So I sure think to chat to me, Terry, and ask me for help with that stuff. You definitely can, as long as you've got enough merit, sowing and reaping, good karma points or good deeds in your bank account, your bank account, your account for this stuff, like a bank account in your savings account, right? In your savings account, right? Valid with Terry's savings account, right? Oh, sometimes hopefully there are some. So, alright, so just been watching another one from my husband's very good. And yeah. And this is a really big thing because everyone's going. So I've got to say, apparently the evil ones are saying that the only reason I'm interested in Iman is because he's rich apparently. Wait, it didn't even occur to me that Iman would think that, but Iman himself brought it up. So no, it's because I saw in him this stuff that he's putting on. This is a quality he has that I love and admire and am in love with so much, that he's like me in the fact he's willing to face potential danger to help others. That's what I'm in love with about him. Right. So, and I'm glad he doesn't have to worry about money. Right? Yeah, good. Right. So and everything on that, and also other, I've got to focus and also other husbands that I have. No, I couldn't find anything, but 3 days, different day. I found 2 yesterday. Anyway, 2 is from Asian somewhere. Yeah. Hot places. Yes, right. Sure. Yeah, so the one I just watched is um 5 things. This is the second one in a series of 4. 5 things to live outside the square they tried to shepherd us into. Yeah, right. the concentration camp, either of the physical and or mind and or any way they think they can do it, really. So the ones are controlling us, yeah. And one of the reasons they're not controlling us is because me and ones like me try to stop them from controlling others, you're right. And that's how they see it. They see that where, for instance, one of my Lineage Change brothers goes on about rights. When I see rights, it's a different thing. And he thinks rights, he thinks he has a right to abuse anyone he wants to. That's not the same thing as what I believe rights are. See, I believe rights are the right not to be abused. Right. Yeah, that's another right as well. So I think what you said is, if I'm understanding the concept you're saying, I understand what you're saying, Terry. Correct. Yes. Got that too. Alright, so the same, yes. So it doesn't mean I'm agreeing with anything. Like check, for instance, about what you're saying. Go watch that as well. Sometimes people who are mentally ill in a society where people feel imprisoned and lack of freedom, right, become either one, very popular, or two, very used by the ones who are trying to imprison everyone, right? Because they see that a population that they're trying to control might want to try to get free of that. For instance, Charles Manson, he said you have a headache. So he's every so often when he thinks, when he says things that people go, they'll talk about some group or another group he joined. Right? For instance, Adolf Hitler uses Charles Manson to herd up any of his Nazi or neo-Nazis that might wander off, maybe off to me or someone else who might actually get their freedom, who actually might end up not being abused by him, not abusing others because of what he said. So Adolf Hitler will bring up the fact that he had a swastika pointed on his third eye at one point, tattooed on. Yeah. So I just want to bring up an interesting point to me about that swastika. If you know enough about me, you might know I have something in my places called the fan. Right. So to some people that looks like the Nazi symbol of a swastika. Right. It's not. Well, what it actually was before the Nazis tried to make it famous under their name the swastika during the Second World War was, it's a Buddhist symbol. And the Buddha that used that symbol had it there on that Buddha's heart. Oh, yeah. So why would the Nazis want that? Because Buddhas, well, that Buddha particularly does not like Nazi ideals and behaviours, right? Well, it's because everywhere and every time they fought that Buddha, the Nazis were not successful. Right. Finally, they got to a place where that Buddha, as far as they could tell, was not worshipped or followed. And so the Nazis felt that they might be successful by using that Buddhist symbol because apparently it wasn't successful. That Buddha symbol, and that Buddha was not present there. So that Buddha, presumably, they thought would not know they were using that symbol because they thought Buddha's ideology, ideas and beliefs were symbolized by that symbol, right? Well, no, because they didn't like the ideology, right? So they thought it must be the symbol, right? So they tried to steal the symbol, which they believed was responsible for the success of that Buddha, right? Against them, tried to use that symbol on the earth where they thought that Buddha was not recognized against the inhabitants of that earth, right? So it is known as, by the Nazis, as a swastika, right? I use it. I call it the fan. Anyway, whenever things get really hot, I use the fan. Anyway, so what else? Let's see. Yeah, so Manson, right? So Manson was in an FBI prison for many years after he got caught. He was the leader of a cult which he called the Manson family. You know, they were very, very evil, and in fact, the only information that the FBI found out about the Manson family were in the last few years of that group. In fact, they've been operating a really long time, and they're a big demonic group. And the only information the FBI found out about that group at that time was what that group told them. Right? They were so underground and hidden so successfully that that's where it was. So anyway, I'm the one who caught him as a FBI profiler, psychological forensic profiler, and anyway, so you've been grumpy towards me ever since, really. Anyway, so what did I find? I use the fan, you're right. So what's that? Anyway, it's in the Old Testament, in the Bible. It's not called a harp, it's called a lyre. Same with in ancient Greek society, it's called that as well. It's called a lyre, but it's not the same thing as L-I-A-R, with somebody who tells an untruth. Right. Anyway, so right, yeah. So nowadays, like I just mentioned, used by the Nazis, is also used by at some stage when the CIA tried to take over the FBI. It's used by the CIA trying to take control of the minds of the FBI agents. Ow, you know, nasty. And of course, nowadays he's one of the leaders of Catholics and Protestants, particularly in their what they call the church militant, by the military, psyops, inquisition, abusive groups of that, which is the mainstay of the Catholics and Protestants nowadays anyway. Pretty nasty, forced conversions and getting money for it and doing what they want with that money, which is controlling others, and yeah, it's all pretty nasty, including blowing people up nowadays. Hecate, who I think are the three most evil female woman entities in existence who've been around since ancient Greece, only because their backdated recently were followers of Manson. One is Mylene the Strange Manor, one is Naomi, and one is Drew. Right, so Naomi and Drew have both been talk show hosts. One's Oprah and one's Drew Barrymore. Right, Mylene the Strange Manor is doing the part of the principalities, rulers of evil, wickedness, and darkness and corruption in the high places, positions of power, trust, authority, and dominion. That she was in the field of royalty, and then politics, and then so she's working against us like that. Right. Let's see what else. Yeah. So the okay in a society predating the invasion by the Romans around Jesus' time, right? Which is the first time in the history of the earth that group called various names in the Bible, that is the enemy, right? That's the first time they came and actually stayed, right? So some people call it being occupied, right? Pre that, they came and tried to invade. They left again. Sometimes they took abducted ones with them, sometimes they didn't. And they always tried to kill lots of us, and yeah, all pretty nasty. But when before they invaded and stayed on that planet for a long period of time, which is known as the Earth, everyone had freedom of thought. One of the ways they, again, it's the same theories, and often they're trying to use that Buddhist symbol to abuse others. Because that Buddha is very popular elsewhere. Right. I'll throw that again. Love that. They tried to use the existing religions, and they invaded that time because they tried to invade before they managed to stay with their own religions. Not popular, no, because basically most of us are not evil, right? So they tried to invade using our religions, trying to take it over from within, take over the people within it from within. So, and then that brings us more modernly to the approximately, and then man spoke about it as well, approximately 200-year-old, if you're in slow time, thing from the Freemasons and the banks and stuff to try and take over and bring in the mark of the beast and slavery and communism and Satanism and then communism and then yeah, pretty nasty stuff. They were actually with that stuff. Any questions? well, they don't own all the banks and things. Well, where I am, so technically a man would call me an outsider where I am, an outside place, an outside system as well. I don't know. Very, very difficult. I had to work out. Everything I was trying just wasn't working. So I thought, right, well, I'll try someone else's place. I had to make my own point. So in the Bible it's called bringing forth into fruition. Manifest. Yeah. So I worked out how to be a creator. And before me, and made my own place, cosmos, realities and planets and star systems and galaxies and cosmos. And it's been there for a while now. So you go. Because their indoctrination plan was pretty hard to get anyone away from, really, at that time when I became aware of the plan. So, and God was being indoctrinated, so it was hard to get help from him. Yeah, definitely another where as well. I just want to say it's weird. The ones that they found the hardest to indoctrinate through brainwashing, mind control, and things like that. You've always got to address the heart as well, because they're the ones that have gone off since then. Huge amounts of brainwashing, mind control to nothing. Nothing. Them and their followers they go into loneliness and heap of them go into loneliness. Always got to address the heart. Always. To keep whoever you're looking after really happy, prosperous, thriving, and yourself as well, because it makes you happy as well. Got to address your heart, their hearts. Everyone needs love and respect, which is why it's around 7 to 4 everything. To stop that crap. Yeah, it's really important. Right. No, yeah, eat right, but then there's a time when you're prepared and when it's safer. And when you're alone, what are you going to do? I mean, you can just sit there, or when you come out and you just go, are you actually going to be an answer to the collective? Hello, I'm out, how can I help? Due to preparation. I've been working on myself. I've been working on my emotion problems. I have been meditating. I have been whatever. And trying to make myself the best I can be, even with limited interactions with others and whatever. Here I am, I'm out. What can I do to help? So there you go. Wait. Any questions? Right. Yeah. Because I spent a lot of time as a political prisoner, unfortunately. Mainly because I'm having sex with people who are in charge of that place, unfortunately. Mainly. So, yeah. Mm. So that's the charges they have him as marked down as a political figure. You know, he wouldn't have had this that evaluation. Yeah. So when we have this and whenever this and however this and as often as this and Phil had it down as like onto a cigarette when you wanted to instead of having some I think he started a career in aerobics. Aerobics instructor. Yeah. We don't do aerobics here. No, it's probably what we haven't seen it from. Anyway, so questions, past and future. Right. I'm trying to put those things together, don't they? Mm. Any questions for me? No. Mine is thinking damage to your heart, Jimmy Terry, or email poppleterrylouise at gmail.com. So you actually think the word's damage you? No, I don't. I don't anymore. No, because I had a part of me that inside me that could help me with that, but Phil stole it. Right. There you go. Can't do it anymore. So please, if there's any problem or potential problem, please take damage heart to me and let me know. You can ask me for help as well while you're at it, please. Right. Free thought and freedom of speech. Yeah. This is one of the things that Phil was trying to stop me and others from having an adult fitna as well. And Joe Pearson. Yeah. And then just ran over it there. Yeah. So what in the Holy Trinity? Yeah. Yeah, thankfully that didn't pass. But we all got our freedom of, yeah. And so yeah, they even tried to release information to the media saying that the no vote passed. No, it wasn't, because thankfully, and thank you to the UN, they came as independent observers, as they used to do a lot sometimes, to have a look at the vote. Thank you again, United Nations, UN. I appreciate that so much. Terry, thanks for asking. Thank you. To make sure the vote was correct and correctly counted, and that we weren't dying every time we went to vote or being intimidated and stuff. Once we were trying to do that, we counted off, so trying to get in the way of that. Yeah, so oh yeah, that's right. It wasn't a vote; it was a referendum last week. Anyway, yeah, we don't. Just a reminder, we don't have government here. Anyway, so yeah, so that media release was released by a company that was owned by Phil and some of the others who he's friends with, married to or something. And together with you, and I was realizing, yes, we did the yes to freedom stuff was passed, and that was good. So there you go. Anyway, but yeah, I was trying to get in where that it's important to have freedom and with the right rules and right moral beliefs, you get freedom within those morals and beliefs if they're the right ones. Right. So we have no idea to say we have the freedom of speech. I think that's a good one. You're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. I love you. Yeah, so you go. Well, that's the biggest one. That's the biggest one. The Ten Commandments. The one about honor your father and mother. In fact, that's the first way. I know, because you told me. Thank you. That's funny. The first way they tried to use our existing religions at that time to try and control us and make us commit crimes and sins. Honor your father and your mother. Also, it says in the Bible, God hates evildoers and don't do evil. So, logically, even with that commandment, honor your father and mother, the implication is they're trying to make you believe you should do what they say. Because God hates evildoers and God doesn't like evildoers, God tells you not to do evil. If your mother and father aren't evil, you don't do what they want you to do. Right, simple. Huh. Yeah. So, everyone knew that at that stage when they invaded like that. However, for some reason people weren't so sure what to do when it was a religious father or religious mother that said, oh, so they became priests and nuns. They said that people weren't supposed to call them Mr. or Miss or whatever, they're supposed to call them father and mother. Yeah, I don't do that with my group. So, anyway, it's not just that, it's also because I'm hoping to, I was hoping and still am hoping to continue to be married. And if whoever follows you, if you're married to one of them, and I'm a woman in my case, if they call you mother, incest, whether it's in the mind or whether it's physically as well, nah, makes you sick, man, and you just don't do it. So anyway, yeah, well, I have sounds sweet, so there was the that stage, and when I stopped, when they declared me dead again as Saint Mount Teresa of Calcutta, stopped being Catholic and not that I was, but made sure they realised because they tried a hostile takeover of my group here, and I stopped being a mother because somebody actually brought it up in 19th and brought it up to me, the concept I hadn't thought of it. So at that stage it wasn't a problem because I'd have celibacy, so but I stopped having celibacy as well. And yes, it was a problem, so I don't do that yet. So I don't do that monetary stuff. So yeah, it's not even Mother Tara, Mother Black Tara anymore. No Mother Black Mama. No. I can't say that one. Good. Think that yeah. So how to get in the way if you have roles and you're a religious mother. Incest, that's really interesting. So anyway, questions? Yeah, the Spartan thing. So, you just want to hear it verbally, yeah. So that their sub commanders, ones in charge of the smaller groups, particularly youth. I can't remember what name they're called, but we would call them groomers in a paedophile network. Yeah. Please take note. Some of them are midgets and dwarfs. They look like children. Right. Bear that in mind. So, also around this bit of background information from the point in time when the Romans, when the paedophilia, raping children, and incest was so bad, horrible, and everything, and everywhere, including everyone being raped everywhere. Yeah, it was really bad. No one had indoor plumbing. They didn't have showers or baths. The only way to keep clean was to go to a communal bath, and that's one of the places where the Romans took over. And so, when you went to have a bath, you usually got raped. Sometimes you could hire the Romans were doing it everywhere. They were getting poor children slaves and just raping them. Whether they were slaves or not, they just raped the children. Anyone who lived on the planet, the child, they'd rape them and rape their own children, and they try to make money off it. And sometimes they'd get, they'd rape the child to death, and others would just rape them anyway because they like necrophilia, and then they'd start eating them as well. And sometimes I like being smelly myself. Yeah. Sometimes I just, situations like just go out of the bathroom, and unless I was going there to try and help children or anyone else being raped there. Yeah, of course. Anyway, so are you thinking that Roman system would be helpful for you to take over here with you? Are you? Because you were Roman, I found a Greek, you were Romulus, and I'm Remus. Is that what you're saying? Pretty much, right. Going back in time. You alright? You having a bad dream? He was my brother and wife called Brandon Lee. Sad, he was helpful. He hadn't paid the house why I don't know. Any questions, please? Enough stuff. We're looking forward to the next one as well. Anyway, on Monday. Maybe Tuesday here, maybe. Yeah, nice. Anyway, see how it goes. So if you have any questions about this or anything, you think Dan chat to me, Terry, and ask me like that. Or you can email me poppleterrylouise@gmail.com. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Nice. And the book with the nicest stuff. That's mine is mine. Nama. Love meatballs, love and love you. I love everyone. I'm in love with everyone. I'm in love with. And this one is mine. Force be with me, source be with me, flame be with me. Putting out the usual signs being abused. Question mark, taxi. No, that's not true. So what actually happened was, yesterday sometime, I went with an old friend of mine called EPE. I rescued him from Area 51. He'd been abducted by the CIA. He was an alien from not off that planet. Wait, many years ago on. Anyway, so we ended up falling in love. And so I went with him to his galaxy. It was just very close to question mark galaxy. Yeah, and so they were trying to abuse me for 14,000 years of having things, including trying to kill me about here I am doing the sort of 14 men. Absolutely. So there you go. Wait, any other questions? The Galactic Federation, they're called. Yeah. Yeah, they're the first ones. Well, this is like the thing I was talking about transcendental meditation. Like one timeline. Working with different timelines. Yeah. One timeline. I invented the smartphone. Another timeline. I was learning about it from the Galactic Federation, who bought smartphones from me all the time. Right. And devices. Yeah. So yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway. Interesting. Wait. It's a party and then I'll play Pagoma. One on something plays out. Wait. See you later. Good. Thanks for watching. Goodness. Thank you. And please like and subscribe. Because then I'll get some money for it. I think if enough people do it, which would be really helpful for me, please. So you have some money from my personal account. So anyway,